Well, greetings everybody. Awake Souls decided he was going to troll my channel with word of a premiere that he wanted me to see, claiming to debunk something, and did so with his 35th sock account. Yo, Holmes, that kind of tells you something, man. Typically, I don't care about what somebody says on a channel that lacks the maturity to be held accountable for critique by muting folks who can clearly define and dissolve the claims presented. But I'll make a short exception in this case, because he used my stuff in the video. And funny enough, I won't even need to reference it. But since he did do an experiment, however poorly, and he did re-author my material because he wants to tell everybody that everything shrinks twice due to perspective, I thought I'd give it a look. I have not been to Awake Souls channel since he blocked me like 2 years ago, when Mr. Thrive and Survive commented below his video stating that gravity was actually air pressure holding things to the ground. After making a video about that comment, Awake Souls muted me, so... But anyway, of course he opened with this. Isn't it ironic that folks of obscure faith actually enlist the help and protection of the government? So let me play this first portion of this video, unedited and uninterrupted, so you know what the claim is.
Mall Angel debunks global view of perspective. And all it took was this one thumbnail to do it. You see, ever since Pythagoras suggested that Earth moves, occultists have been using ships disappearing from the bottom up as proof of curvature. But you will see now that curvature has nothing to do with the functions of perspective. This thumbnail is two stills from the recent video I took at the Lakeline Mall in the Austin, Texas area. I chose this location to meet a few criteria. First, I was looking for the longest straight and flat floor I could find that was open to the public. Next, I wanted the space to be conditioned air with both natural and artificial lighting mixed. And lastly, I wanted a non-reflective floor. Lakeline Mall was perfect for this shot with an end-to-end unobstructed hallway on the second floor that was carpeted, plus the atrium ceiling offered excellent natural but not direct lighting. What I really need you to understand up front and clearly is that the difference between these two images is that the one on the left was taken at eye level and the one on the right was taken with a camera sitting level on the ground. The camera used for this observation was the Nikon P1000 recording in 4K.
Okay, so this is the portion where I'm going to stop. First, he claims that this image comparison is all that's needed to debunk the globe. What he didn't tell you is that he manipulated the right side photo and stretched it to support his claim. And even if he didn't personally do this, his failure to acknowledge this disqualifying effect to his footage and his test pretty much tells you all you need to know about his researching capabilities. What you're looking at right here is a sped up version of me trying to match the two images, but I can't get them to match up because the one from the right is taller than the one from the left. But on to the test. Let's discuss those criteria.
I chose this location to meet a few criteria. First, I was looking for the longest straight and flat floor I could find.
Okay, long, straight, and flat. Got it. Remember you said that.
That was open to the public.
Open to the public. Got it. Not really important.
Next, I wanted the space to be conditioned air.
Conditioned air. Okay. I wonder why he wants you to know this.
With both natural and artificial lighting mixed.
Natural and artificial lighting. Not really sure where you're going with that. And it kind of messes with your need for conditioned air, but okay.
And lastly, I wanted a non-reflective floor.
Non-reflective floor. Okay. It's a carpet. And a sad attempt to answer for his results.
Lakeline Mall was perfect for this shot with an end-to-end...
Okay, so that's it? Good. Let's do this. So, first, this is a mall in Texas. You can see by the clothing that the woman is wearing and everybody else, it's hot in Texas. Judging by the angle of the sun, it's sometime around 11 to noon. The reflection observed is simply an inferior mirage caused by a temperature difference between the floor and the air above it. But wait, Sly, he's in an air-conditioned building, which is exactly causing this problem. Under the portion where the mirage is being seen on the floor, down where the seers used to be, There's an entranceway to the mall, pointing southeast, being blasted by the sun. Heat comes in the entranceway. Due to the temperature in the building, the heat attempts to rise, but not without warming the second floor walkway above it, of course. This causes a temperature difference between the floor and the air-conditioned air above it. It's the temperature shear, which is causing this mirage.
And because this demonstration was done in a conditioned air environment, we know that heat distortion played no part in what we're seeing.
And that's why it was important for him to say that about the air conditioning. Next, typically you don't see a mirage across a perfectly flat surface. The surface needs highs and lows for the effect to be noticed. Awake Souls here claims his second floor mall walkway is perfectly flat. Sure, I'll give you long, could be up to 300 meters, but flat it is not. Please take a look at this still as he zooms out from floor level. Even in this short span, feel free to show me what part of this floor is flat. You even see the young woman walking over a hump at the crosswalk area. And in this area, watch how she walks in a dip with her shoes being partially obstructed by the rather high edge closer to the camera and nowhere near the mirage. Now on to the non-reflective floor. While I understand what he's selling here, that the reflection is not from the floor, I think he just made up this criteria to make it seem like he had found the perfect location for this test. However, until you observe an inferior mirage outside, this all falls apart. Because sand is not a reflective floor, yet inferior mirage. A street is not a reflective floor, yet inferior mirage. Salt is not a reflective floor, yet inferior mirage. You getting the picture yet? Now I just dipped over real quick prior to starting this recording to see what kind of comments were made on the video. And of course, 90% of them are some of the only people that he hasn't blocked or muted. But I found this one kind of cool. Sorry to say, but Flat Earthers' attention to detail and research is very low. Half of your video is about your mall experiment, but did you actually confirm that the floor is 100% flat? Because I work in architecture, and I can tell you that many floors, especially crowded buildings and factories, have slopes in order to drain water in case of a fire. But here was his response. I suspected that someone would say something as stupid as you just did. Then he refers to the baseboard, which I thought was hysterical, because here's what he said. That is the baseboard. The camera is sitting on the ground. Are you suggesting that the mall is built concave? That's absolutely hysterical. Just because you can see two ends of a surface does not mean that the surface between them is perfectly flat or level or whatever. It doesn't mean it's anything. It only means that it's not above your line of sight to that end and obstructing your view. For example, if I put a camera on a half pipe, I could and raised it up maybe just a millimeter or two from the surface, I could see the rail on the other end, but it has nothing to do with the surface in between. So, that was all I really had to say about this video, guys. So, what's left? Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.